Hold on one second. Let me send this back to Kim. All right. So I came on here earlier to do some readings. If you're just coming in, I am going to offer a free reading. You usually have to have about 1,000 people, but I'm going to double check with you. I don't know why this is moving so slow today or if my internet is funky, but if you're just coming in, tap the screen. I am going to offer somebody with a free reading today, and I'm going to be pulling some cards. I went on here to charge for readings today, but I have a feeling that someone really needs a message and the energy was just so funky. So let it just be a free day to do a reading for someone on here. You usually have to have 1,000 followers so I can bring you on. But if you're just coming on, tell me where you're from. Go ahead and tap the screen. That kind of gets the algorithm going. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Hi from Pennsylvania. How's your guys' weather out there? Kim and I always sing, what is it called? Mountain Mama, dun 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 dun. Take me home, country road. Where we go? Florida. To the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. I'm not a singer, but I'm going to sing. I'm going to give somebody with a free reading. If you guys could do me a favor, just tap the screen and then tell me where you're from. Let's get the energy going. I went on before and the energy was like moving really slow. So I just want to like, let's get some people in here. I'll just wait. Hi, Natalie. If you're just coming in, you don't want to say where you're from, just say hi. I am going to give somebody with a free reading today. It's been very cold. Yes, ready for spring weather. Is that the like slow energy? Hi, Gen X from Ohio. Hi, Indiana. Beautiful names. So one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to bring somebody on here in a little bit. But if you guys could tap the screen, let's get the like algorithm going. We just need like some energy moving. It's like, I don't know what's going on, if it's the leftover energy from this full moon, but it was like, meow, meow, meow. So if you would like a reading, I don't need to know who you want to hear. I don't need to know the name of the person that you want to hear from today. I just need to know who you want to hear from. So like mom, dad, brother, grandpa, if you guys could put that in the comments. And then once everybody starts commenting, it's like the way that my gift works, it's like a finding rod. When people are looking for water, I'll be able to hone in on somebody. Okay. So this is a free reading. My name is Julie. I'm a psychic medium. You're in good hands. I've been doing this for 20 years. Officially for 20 years. I've been doing it my whole life. So I was going to gift somebody with a reading. Let me see. And if I bring you on, you don't have to go live on the camera. You can just sit there and relax, okay? I'm just trying to see. Hi, Tammy. How are you? Some of you I can bring on live. Gen X, would you want to go on live? Good. I'm so glad you're good. Gen X for mom. I think I can bring you on. I just said can some people I can't. Let's see.
Let's see.
Hi, sweetheart. How are you?
Hi.
You doing okay?
I'm hanging in there. I'm trying to turn my TV down so
Oh, yeah, right.
it doesn't interfere with you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Everybody keeping warm.
Oh my God, we're from Oregon. We just had an ice storm. I still feel like we're recuperating because I'm originally from Nebraska. So everybody's like, you guys can't handle snow. I'm like, I'm from Nebraska. I've driven in snow. This is black ice everywhere. It's ice. It's not a snowstorm. So we are recuperating. I just felt like, and I came on here originally till I was like, I come on in between, take donations for readings, and energy was so slow. I'm like, nope, we need to bump it up and gift today. There's like people that need to hear this. So thank you for allowing me to do this reading for you. I'm going to start to see, hear, and see, hear, and feel things that your loved one wants me to tell you. They're already being so loud. It's like I have a radio playing in my head. Hi, Hildreth. I see you, sweetheart. Hi, Helen. So as I'm giving her a reading, you guys can go ahead and comment in the comments. I'm going to focus on her. So could you just tell me your first name? Because I get
It's Kelly.
Kelly.
Yes.
Kelly. And did you want to hear from mom?
If we can get her, yes.
This is so funny. She's like, she better not be wanting to hear from anybody else. Okay. So I don't know if your mom was a force to reckon with, but she's
Could
not
be.
coming in
She
shy.
could be. No,
Yeah.
she was not shy. She was very direct.
Yeah, that's how I get, but in a very loving way. I don't get rude with her. I love your mom because this is the kind of feeling she's, don't ask your mom the truth if you don't want to know it. Do you know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yep.
Yeah, she's like, I wouldn't wear those shoes with that dress. Everybody else would be like, it looks great. She's like, no. So I love your mom because she would just be open about this. Okay.
Yes, she would.
Yeah, this is totally random, and I don't know why I'm seeing this, but I'll see things about her. I'll see things about you, and I feel like I'm looking at a. Do you know how you can buy those El Paso taco kits?
Yeah.
To tacos, or do you live in El Paso? I don't know why I'm seeing that.
No, I live in Ohio, but tacos were like a favorite with my mom. And that was one of those special mom-daughter things when I was still an only child. And we had, trying to think of the name, Zantigo. And we would go and get tacos.
Okay, perfect. See how she's like tacos. And as a medium, I'm like, don't you want to tell her something else? Like her date, her birthday, she's like, talk about the tacos. That would be significant. We're going to start there.
And I just made a post on TikTok about tacos yesterday or the day before, so that's just kind of funny.
Yeah, that's why she would bring that up. She's being very consistent. Can I ask you, I keep hearing twins. Do you guys have twins that run in you or your mom's family, or someone that just looked alike where they're like, are you guys twins? And you're like, no, we're sisters, but I keep hearing
Yeah,
twins.
my sister and I look almost identical, but we're 8 years apart.
Okay, thank you. That's how she would bring that up too. And I don't know if you're the most grounded one. And she just said, your sister, sassy pants. So I don't know if your sister can be sassy or why your mom just said that.
I'm sassy. I'm the sassy one out of the two.
You're the sassy one. Okay, thank you. And this is totally random, but I don't know if someone would use the term, I can't say it again. I can't talk and chew gum at the same time. Do you know how people say that?
My mom used to say that.
That is so funny because I hear that. I hear her so clear. And I keep seeing a hospital bed. Did your mom pass away in the hospital or on hospice?
She actually passed away in a hospital bed on hospice in her family room.
Okay, thank you. That's why she shows me that as well. And I'm also being drawn to the month of April being someone's birthday and or day of passing. Does that make sense to you?
It's both of our birthdays in April.
Okay, perfect. And okay, I will. Thank you, sweetheart. I also am being so drawn to like tulips. I love those better than other flowers for some reason. Like if you're going to get me those flowers.
That's my mom's favorite flower is tulips.
So cool. She's on. She is.
Yes,
on.
she is.
Yes. Here's the other thing. If you get a chance to go to Costco or Trader Joe's, they have the bulbs that grow in glass. I love those. Just so you know, she's showing me like that. And I also have to ask you, was she keeps pointing to her and her dad. So is her dad crossed also?
Yes.
Okay. Was she daddy's girl? Was she the oldest girl? She keeps going, my dad. She's
gosh, that's like, whoo, wow. That, I tell you, Julie, that hits. I was with both of them when they died. And my mom was definitely a daddy's girl. And I was my grandpa's girl.
That's it.
I haven't heard from him at all since he passed like 30 years ago. And I've always wondered if he made it to the other side.
Yes, I'm so glad. See, I was like, I'm coming on here and the energy's slow. I'm just going to bounce back off and do a freebie because somebody needs to hear this. You are the reason why I do what I do. So when loved ones cross, they all make it to the other side. Nobody's stuck and in between. And it's not like they're not communicating with us. I don't know why it turns out like it's the people that we miss the most. We see signs from the least. or if we didn't get a chance to say goodbye, or if we have any guilty feelings, like I wish I would have spent more time with them, it's almost
Yeah.
like we need to like forgive ourselves so that the energy could be okay. But for you not to feel him, I understand. So I'm trying to talk. Can I tell you, between your mom and your dad, if I ever have her dad, if I ever have the privilege of giving you a reading again, can you remind me to go to Starbucks or something? Because the energy's just like, they're fast. Their energy's like, she's like, I'm going to talk, then he's going to talk, then you're going to talk. I'm like, okay, wow. Okay.
I believe it.
Yeah.
That sounds like them.
There's a couple things that he's telling me. I kept seeing like John Wayne and the Marble Man. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. He used to watch John Wayne, and I'm trying to think of the other Western show. Like, I can see it in my head, but I can't say
I can see it too.
Gunsmoke.
Yeah, I was just going to say Gunsmoke and Bonanza. There was a Bonanza.
Yes.
Bonanza.
He would watch it all day long,
Mhm.
every day.
That's
Yes.
him. He's so funny. He's like, I was a stud muffin, just like, that's why I like to watch that. He just is cracking me up, but he's not full of himself. He's got a very good sense
sense of humor.
And I feel like you have his sense of humor, very, very quick-witted. It's like if you have to stop and explain your joke to somebody, forget it. You can't use people like that. It's kind of like smart and quick-witted. He keeps saying that. Say the thing, go back one more time, sweetheart. That's too many messages. I can't tell if that's from you or her. Is there a black licorice reference?
My mom loves black licorice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And my sister's daughter, funny enough, as little as she is, my sister, myself, and my mom's granddaughter love black licorice. And I think we all get it from her.
Yes. I almost thought it was like sassafras. Do you know what I mean? I was waiting for a chance to taste it. Okay. You have to know that you have a gift of helping people pass, because you really, the coordination that you had for your mom and knowing exactly what she would want to comfort her, you didn't just make that up. It's like you can communicate. You also have this like telepathy where you'll think of somebody and then they'll call you, or you think of somebody and then you'll run into them in the store. Are you understanding why I'm bringing that up?
Yep. I was the original caller ID at our house.
Yep. So
in the 70s.
Yes. So you have this gift, and it's a matter of like owning it. If you're going to do readings with it, you could, but if it's just for you healing your family and having the knowing, then that's fine too. But just know not to discount it, because you do have this gift. That's one of the things. And I feel like with your grandfather, I don't know if you guys like drove a lot, or why I feel like if I'm going to hear him, I feel like I'm just going to take a drive, and then I'm trying to tell him, he's very bossy. I'm trying to talk as fast as I can. So we have a file in our mind. It's like a file cabinet, and they'll say, oh, remember this time? Remember I taught you how to play checkers or chess? And you'll be driving, and all of a sudden you'll think of a fond memory of your grandfather.
I think he's showing me sitting in the back seat of the car when we were driving to North Carolina. That's, as you're saying it, that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
In my head.
Right. And it's so funny because before, when your mom started talking about the licorice, I was going to ask you if somebody's name is Caroline, or if you know anybody from Carolina. So that's funny, because that went to the side because she was talking about her licorice. I feel like I'm doing a marathon here. They've got both high energy, so this is good, and so do you. So go back to the thing that you guys were just going to say. So in your car, when you're driving, if you have, or if you're on a walk and you just have a random memory about your grandfather, and you're like, I haven't thought about that in a long time, that's him showing you a sign. So he's very much around you, but I feel like his guidance to you is within your thoughts.
Okay.
So you're like, I can't really see it. You want an outward sign. So just ask him for an outward sign, like a certain song to play. I'm trying to, obviously any songs about cowboys or anything that would be from him, because he just showed me Woody's Roundup from Toy Story. So that would be something too. Sir, I don't know what that was. He just showed me food. He showed it to me so fast. It reminded me of, my grandmother used to make strawberry rhubarb pie, and it's like a acquired taste. It's something like that.
Probably is creamed cucumbers.
Thank you. It's like an acquired taste. Like not
Yes,
everybody's gonna like
it's
that.
German. Yeah.
Okay, German. Yeah, that would be why he shows me that. Okay, go back to the other thing that he wants me to show you. Do you guys also is there somebody's name Everly or Beverly?
Um,
Or did he like the Everly brothers? I heard
it
like,
might have been the Everly brothers, but I don't I can't remember anybody named Beverly, but I would say maybe Everly brothers because he liked that kind of music.
yeah, write that down. So if he liked listening to music and a certain song plays on and that reminds you of your grandfather, then that's a sign. It's more
Okay.
simple than what we think. And I don't know at one point if you thought he was mad at you. He's like, I'm not mad at her and I'm at peace. Like, so just
I
know.
just didn't know where he was. Everybody else, all my other well, minus my dad's dad, but my grandmothers have both reached out to me since they've passed, and my mom has too, but not recently. So I thought like everybody like dissipated. I
Right.
guess.
Yeah. And it's so great to give you a reading because you're getting this as a healing. And then anybody watching this is like, oh, I was worried about that too. So let me explain something. So I was very close to my mom. So when she passed away, I wanted signs from her. Nothing. I was not close to
Mhm.
my dad. I got so many signs from him. And I'm like, not you, sir. You weren't a good person while you were here. I want to hear from mom. So sometimes it's the people that we were closest to that we see signs from the least. And also, it's not that they're not around us. It's just that we're so close to them that it's like they're giving us like messages as our thoughts in our mind. So you can ask him for an outward sign, if that
Okay,
makes any sense.
that does. That
Yeah.
does.
But he is on the other side. Did he pass before your mom?
He did. My grandfather passed, gosh, going on 34 years ago.
Hmm.
And my mom, the anniversary of her death is coming up, and it'll be 9 years
Okay.
since she has been gone.
Okay, thank you. Because I just heard like I helped your mom cross over. I was there to help. And
Oh,
then
good.
who dealt with hardening of the arteries or clogged arteries or something?
Um, I mean, for him, that's a possibility. He had a lot of circulation issues because of smoking, and then surgeons surgeons actually malpractice wise, they accidentally took out a lung they weren't supposed to remove, and then when they did circulation surgery for his lower extremities, they screwed it up and caused a further compromise of circulation in his legs. So he had, just kind of like, yeah, peripheral damage to his lower legs.
Yes, I understand. This is so crazy because he's like, see, that's why I never want to go to the doctors. Everybody was like, you have to go to the doctor. He's like, that's why I didn't want to go.
Yeah, he never liked doctors.
No, before even, he's like, damn, they didn't know what the heck they were doing, but he's not saying heck. So we'll send
Well,
someone
and the
for him.
fact that you said the D word is exactly the word he always used.
Yeah, I know. He's going there with a couple others. I'm like, sir, this is an angel reading. You can't talk like that in here. No, I'm just kidding. But you have to know his love for you. You have to know that he's so much around and his zest for life, really being there, wanting to help other people. You remind me so much of him in so many ways. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it's almost like if you two were next to each other, I'd say you have a lot of his characteristics, if that makes any
Yeah,
sense.
it's me and one of my cousins. My one cousin, he looks just like my grandfather, and
Yeah.
he sounds just like him. It's kind of wild. But the two of us, it's kind of interesting because my cousin and I are just like him, and my mom was just like him.
Yes.
And so we were all kind of like peas in a pod when
Yeah.
it came to our grandfather and
He
my
loves
mom's
them.
dad.
And this is totally in left field, but did someone make I was like, are you showing me moonshine? Hold on one second. I had a stepdad named Bob who made his own wine. and I keep seeing someone like, I don't know if someone made their own wine or made their own beer, or someone worked at a place where you made your own beer or
Well, my
wine.
dad did work at Anheuser-Busch for a while, and then
That's
my mom's sister's husband he actually made wine for a period of time.
okay.
So it's all within the family.
That's why I kept saying the
And
beers
he
and
was
then
a
going
big
back.
beer drinker. He was a big beer drinker.
Yep, that's why we're going back to that too. And does that month of October have significance as far as someone's day of birth or passing?
I think
Or the 10th of a month? I'm just being drawn to the number 10.
you know, it could have been, I think June 10th would be right for when, yes, I think June 10th was when my grandfather passed away because I had just started college and was actually at school when, nobody told me he was dying. He told me he was dying, if that
Oh,
makes sense.
yeah.
And I went home and without knowing any of this, because again, we're in 1988 before cell phones and everything. And I went home feeling like he was calling for me, which I found out I was the last person he asked for and kept asking for. And he died when I came into the room and talked to him the next morning when the hospital called us, and I told him it was okay to go and to be with my brother who's passed over. And with that, he died the same way he did in a recurring dream that I had had for a year.
Mm, I
I
don't
know
know.
that's a lot, but
Yeah.
that's it.
I got you. So this gift that you have, one of the things that they'll say about it is if you want to ever write a book or have a blog or tell your story, it would help other people just the way that I'm talking to you right now. And
Yes,
other people are watching this. I have people saying, what a beautiful experience. Oh my gosh, this is so great. You know, and so just hearing another person's reading uplifts and inspires others to say, well, if her grandfather and her mother are with her, then maybe mine are with me. And I just want to intercede and say,
absolutely.
don't ever let a medium tell you you can't hear from your loved ones, they're stuck. That's not a thing. It's
No,
not real. So I'm always trying to educate people on here that to know that 95% of the readers on here are great, but you're always going to have those 5% who are like, ooh, can I get more money for this person? You're going to have that in any profession. So just always give it a heads up and just go, no, that's okay. I know my loved ones are crossed over. They don't need your help. So we do help people cross over like on hospice. And that's why I love, Nurse Julie on here, Nurse
yes,
Hospice Julie, because she
yes,
talks about how you, like you said, when you were helping your grandfather by telling him it's okay to go. So can we help them cross over while they're here to the other
yes.
side? Yes. Once they're on the other side, they don't need assistance from anybody. They have
Right.
angels and spirits and loved ones who are helping them cross over. And where are they? I don't know where my book is, but I wrote a book called I Am Home, and you can see it on Amazon. It's called I Am Home by Julie Dart. Because in every reading that I've had, when I say, where are you guys? They go, I'm home. It's like there's this loving source that we're created from. Then we come to the earth plane and then we all go back there. And some people call it heaven, the other side, the universe. Yeah. Oh, Milo's like, I'm home by Julie Dart. We have all these people in the comments. Thank you. Okay. Doing a little infomercial on the side.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm a teacher by nature, so I love doing readings, but I also like giving people tools, kind of like being their, just like their practice. Like, just try
Yeah.
this just to see. So my advice to you, something that really helped me connect more with my mom when I wasn't feeling her, and this is for Kelly or anybody else on here, is I just did get a journal and I started writing to my mom. I didn't read that anywhere of all the mediums I've ever trained under and classes I went to. No one ever told me about it, but I feel like it was guidance from my mom. And now I just have a journal that's just like letters to my mom. And it was like, it's kind of like working out with weights. The first couple of
Mhm.
days I didn't feel anything, but the more I did it, the more I started to say, now that's not a coincidence. That's my mom showing me that.
Right. And funny enough, I did start doing that as she was in that process of passing. I started writing her while she was, I would be in the kitchen while, she was not, I guess you could say, fully responsive in the other room. And I started writing to her then. And I'm a nurse.
I was
And
just gonna say, yeah, you're such a healer.
I just started doing it, and I don't do it often enough, but it's like I draw in it. I do artwork. I put little stickers. I
Hmm.
do little things that anything that just kind of pops into my head that I do that. But I always start with Dear Mom, you
Yes.
know.
Yes. And like I'm saying, like, so intuitively, you're just doing that. And for your grandfather, if you don't feel as close to him, that's something like it's just a muscle that you're working out and pulling their energy. And it's like a path that you're creating back and forth to where you can see, hear, or feel them. But he just
Okay.
does, he tells me, also he loves leaving, pennies like
Yeah.
coins for you because I keep getting that as well. So I don't know if he had always his change in his pocket, but I
Yeah, he did.
yeah, but I am seeing that too. So that's not a coincidence if there's some by you. Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And this is like in left field, but hold on one second. I can't tell if there's a story about someone who gets a loaf of bread and only eats the center, or if this is show me that one more time. A cinnamon roll. There's a joke about someone only eats the middle part. They don't like the crust.
That was me as a kid.
It's
I would
so
only eat the
funny.
middle as a child, because that was the softest, gooeyest part. And the funny part is I make my own cinnamon rolls now, so I make sure they don't get too tough on the outside.
So funny. Julianne says, me too. So that's a way that they wrap up your reading with a bow, just to say, this is us. This is where we're trying to show
Oh,
you that we are, and we're always watching over you. And you've done such a great job. You've done
oh,
such a
thanks,
great job.
Julie.
You're
I
welcome. I'm so glad
appreciate that.
I did this for you today.
Well, thank you, and thanks everybody who hung out with me for my reading. I really appreciate everybody.
Yeah, good group today. We all need this.
Yes, we do. Thank you so much, Julie.
You're welcome. I'm trying to see where to go on here. Okay, there we go. I know I'm pretending like I know how to do this. Okay, there you go, sweetheart. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Woo! There we go. Thank you, Milo. Thank you, everybody, for being here. The perfect pick. You're so cute. How do you get a reading? I do have readings tomorrow and on Monday available. If you want to tap on there, that's how you can schedule a reading. You're welcome, Kelly. Thank you so much. Vicky, I haven't seen you forever. How are you? Jean, thank you. And just to pump up the energy, because I know a lot of people are going through things, I don't think I have time to do another reading today. I have some readings I'm doing tonight. Oh, how can you get one now? I'm going to prepare for a reading I'm doing tonight. But if you want to schedule a reading with me, you double click on here, and that's how you can get a reading. I'll also be coming on tomorrow around the same time. So sometimes what happens is the readings go, the spots go very quickly. So if you double click here, and then it will have my link tree, you can double click on that, and then you can pay in advance for your reading. Thank you, Julie. And I'm going to do a collective reading right now for you guys. Could you just tell me about my job? I'm going to be doing, Milo, I'm going to be pulling some cards right now. So hopefully that will help you with the collective, okay? So I do phone readings and Zoom readings, and then I come on here and I do readings as well. So whatever works out for you guys. Thank you, Hildred. You're so sweet. Okay. So God and angels, please tell me what I need to know. They're talking about how manifestation is coming through very clear. So to a lot of you, there's a book called Ask and It Is Given. It's setting your intention before you do something, and it's putting the energy into that at the time. Oh, this is so pretty, because these are the cards that I'm pulling for the collective. We're coming into really good manifestation energy. So if we say, I'm broke, then that's the message we're sending out. If we say, I don't have money for that yet, but it's coming, then that's a better. So make sure where you're ending your manifestation statement is something positive. Okay. And I know that's challenging when you've already done that and had so many back-to-back challenges happen. Okay. This is your first card for the collective. I wish I would have told you more often how much I love you. And so whenever I see cards like this, it also tells me to look for signs from them and things in the shape of a heart, whether it's a sticker, whether it's a cloud, whether it's the word heart to show you. And they're always letting you know that they're standing right next to you, that it's not like they're really far away and we're here. The veil between where they are and we are is very thin. And I keep hearing, don't let fear be your reason why. Don't let fear set the intention for your compass. So find a way to have like affirmations, or this is something that my daughter and I have been dealing with lately, is we're saying, scared is what I am, brave is what I'm doing. Scared is what I am, brave is what I'm doing. So maybe a lot of you are having to face something where you're just waiting for the courage, and then you're like, and then I'll do it. I'm waiting for the courage, but many times we just have to take the jump and then the courage comes. How can I know if someone passed peacefully? All spirits pass peacefully. I'm trying to see where I do have this book. It's on Amazon. I know it's backwards on here, but I wrote this book in order to help people understand what I see with loved ones when they cross over. Oh, yes, that's perfect, Vicki. So when your loved ones cross over, they look at their life and they do a life review. It's like watching a movie. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Media. I'm doing great. Will my husband get the job he just interviewed for? Flower, I wish I could answer that for you. I don't do yes or no, although I do feel I keep hearing it's about time. And so I don't know if he's been looking for 6 months, but that's what I just heard. I just need to know if they'll come back. I was just in here and then came back, and whoops. I have to know back, and then I'm sorry, Virgin, I don't know what that means. Hi from Ireland. Yes, 6 months. Yeah. So if you have questions about your loved ones, or you think I might be a medium, how do I know? I want more information on this. I did write this book. It's called I Am Home. It's on Amazon, and it gives examples of readings that I've done, and it lets you know kind of what I see while I'm doing my reading. And I wrote this book in order to help people understand the process more. Hi from Washington. I was just talking to my loved before they passed, sorry, and came back in the room 2 minutes later. Oh, I see. Just fear was scared or something. Even if people are scared to go, hi from Maryland, hi from Cape Breton. Even if people are afraid to pass, once they pass, they are at peace. Because one of the things that they've shown me is it's so beautiful over there. And I never share anything that I don't know firsthand. And I have had, thank you, Vicki. I have had people in my family that have had near-death experiences and have told me what they've saw over there. And both of them described the same thing, that it was so gorgeous that they didn't want to come back. I'm going to take that out. Oh, check that out. You're welcome, Vicki. You're so welcome. And for those of you interested, if you want to get together in a Zoom group or anything, I do have one in February. You can all of my information's here. You can double click. Book again. Yeah, I would love that, Vicki. Do pets come through to you? Yes. Pets have come through. As a matter of fact, in my book, I Am Home, one of the stories I share is when I gave a reading to a lady, and I thought she was talking about a baby, like a human baby, and I could see it buried in the backyard. And so in my reading with her, it got disturbing to me, but I just said, is your child buried like close to your backyard, hoping it was something like that? And she goes, yeah, we bury all of our pets in the backyard. And I said, oh, it's a pet. She's like, yeah. And so I could see it buried with a baby blanket and the toys, but I couldn't tell it was a cat. I just know I kept hearing, I'm her baby, I'm her baby. So pets do come through. Is there a waiting period when someone passes? that people can send you signs. No, I think it's a preference to them, and it's a matter of our state of being. Like, I know for my dad, I didn't really care for him too much. He wasn't the kindest person. But I saw a lot of signs from him right after. With my mom, there were dragonflies around her eulogy. So there was like a swarm, like 100. It's so many. And right after that, we kept seeing swarms of dragonflies. So sometimes it's right after, sometimes it's a little bit, but you can always ask even right after they pass away. And I always say, ask for a sign and then just be open to it. If you have to ask, was that a sign? Then it was. It's very simple. That's why kids can see signs so easy. How will I know if my Etsy shop is not working out and I need to close it and do something else? I would say, Elena, to be diligent on posting. Even if you don't want to, you've got to have, I just did a reading for this lady like last year, and she's like, I haven't had movement. And I checked her TikTok and there aren't any videos. And I understand it's hard to keep posting when there isn't a movement, but you have to keep posting. I do see looking for side work like remote accounting or something like that, so it takes the pressure off of the Etsy shop. Can spirits be too weak to come through? If they just passed in August, will they be able to? Bergen, no, they aren't too weak to come through that way. I've done a reading for somebody when their mom has passed 3 days before. So really matters. Some people are mourning people too much. So any messages that I give you, you're welcome, Elena. If we're mourning people so much and we're hurting, the message I give isn't going to bring that comfort because we're in shock or something. So if that's the case, I would give it some time until you're feeling so a little bit better. A reading is there to like comfort you, to let you know they are still alive, but it's not going to heal that immediate blow from losing somebody. That's just a process that we go through, of that mourning process. But if you are going through that, my heart goes out to you as a medium. I've lost a lot of people, some in a tragic way, some knowing ahead of time, and some just very quick here one day and not the next. And we all have our own stages of grieving, and some of those I was able to bounce back a little faster because I knew it was coming. It's never easy to lose somebody, but some of them were in a shock. It was a shock to me. I miss someone important to me, and I hope they remember me. What's the best way to let them know? Again, just writing to them in a journal or asking for a request. Hi, Jessica. I wish I did love reading, sweetie. I don't, but I wish for you that you have somebody that's going to treat you so lovely that you're not going to be left asking questions. My daughter started sending me 2 signs after she passed. I love that, Kari. Have they spoken to you about reincarnation? Yes. And I also am a big fan of Brian Weiss, Many Lives, Many Masters. And I've had, at the age of 25, I started having this repetitive dream about a tidal wave. And I don't live anywhere where there's tidal waves. And I was never afraid to go in the water when I was younger. But all of a sudden I had this fear of being drowned in a tidal wave. And I kept having this dream over and over again. And every time I would have it, I wouldn't be able to wake up and function the next day. I would just feel like fluish. So this was about when I was about 25 years old. And I had this dream consecutively until I was 32. And then finally a friend of mine said, why don't you try a past life regression? And then I did do a past life regression through somebody in Campbell, California, where I lived at the time, and finally quit having that dream. So if you read any books like Many Lives, Many Masters, you'll see that a past life regression can help you with something. And why was I having that repetitive dream at 25 and not any other dream? It's because in a past life at the age of 25, I passed away in a like a tsunami. Do you have a list of books you recommend? I do recommend this book called I Am Home. I wrote this book in order to help people deal with their loved ones passing, so that they could see the readings that I have done, so they can hear my story and kind of see how this worked for me, in hopes that that brings them comfort. But I do love anything by let me see, Gordon Smith. He's a wonderful psychic from Scotland, best psychic I've ever seen. He was like, he could just close his eyes and be like, they lived at 3224 Elderberry Lane. Like he blew me away. Still till this day, I think he's the most amazing. So he has books, anything by James Van Praagh I love. I love Teresa Caputo. I think she does this work from the heart. Yes, Vicky said you've got children's books too. I do, because I do this work. If you see my last post, this is my favorite. Because as much as I love to do readings, I also love working with kids. And a couple years ago, I went through a divorce with a narcissist, and it hurt my soul so much, but I wanted to show my kids something good could come out of something bad. And I had always wanted to write children's books since I was 5 years old, but I never did well in school, and I'm dyslexic, so I never thought I could. And then the divorce, I was just like, I'm going to try this. And so I wrote The Night the Moon Was Hiding. This is backwards, but it is, if you look at my last story, this also is available on Amazon, and I self-published, but I have to just show you because of the full moon, and I'm a full moon buff. Look at these illustrations. Look at these illustrations. So that's actually when I had these, this book illustrated, I gave them pictures of my children, so they put them at that age, and then my dog, and then we have this other book named Ellie, and she's in it too. You're welcome. So I feel like I always want to be authentic, and if I hear in your reading that you're going to write a book, and then I keep hearing that for myself, and I've never written a book, but I'm telling you to, I feel like kind of a hypocrite. Does that make sense? So I always want to make sure that I'm doing things. Oh, thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Thank you. I feel like I definitely want to do readings, but I also want to be an inspirational speaker and say, if you're going through something, let your pain be your gain, let your mess be your message. And to write a book, a children's book, and then to take it to schools and see little kids reading it is just the best joy that I've ever had. So I encourage anybody out there that has a dream in your heart and you don't know how to do it, or you might be afraid, is just to say to yourself, scared is what I am, brave is what I'm doing, and just take a step. You'll never know how wonderful it turns out until you take a step forward. But if you just keep thinking about it and freeze, that brings a lot of like depression and heavy anxiety. I would have never thought that I could do something like that after a divorce and my heart was broken. I'm so much better now, and I understand why it happened, and I'm actually glad that he left. But at the time I was not. I just wanted my family to be together. And since they couldn't, I thought, well, now I can take the energy that I have and put it towards something better than what I was giving him at that time, and bring it back to myself. So I feel like that's really where the empowerment comes from. The greatest gift, and often, is on the other side of fear. I love that. Is that a quote? The greatest gifts are often, can I screenshot that? Are often on the other side of fear. I love that. Sorry, Bergen, how can a medium read the number 9, but nothing else? If you have a medium that's only reading one thing for you and nothing else makes sense, then I would ask for a refund. 95% of what I read people at the time should make sense for you. 5% is like, oh, they didn't know they had an uncle named Leroy, or they didn't know that their moms had a horse named Namu. Like, they just didn't know that when their mom was younger, she had a horse. So that's the 5% that they usually check with. But, oh, perfect. I love that, Hildred. 95% of what I'm reading people at the time should make sense. If you're getting a reading from somebody and they're like, all I can talk to you about is the number 9, and they can't tell you anything else, then that's not a reading. And not everybody who's on here is a reader. And not everybody who's on here that's a reader is doing it authentically. There are 90% of the readers on here are really good, but just like any other profession, you have to use discernment and saying, this feels kind of made up. Does that make sense? Perfect. This year, healing for me, I want to use. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, I love it. Also seeing 1111, 111, 333 over and over again. What does that mean? 111 means your thoughts are coming to fruition. If you like your thought that you're having, then keep your thought and move forward. If you don't like that thought, stop that thought, cancel it out and replace it with something else. So an example would be like, I see a car and I'm like, I'm too broke to afford that. And you instead you say, stop, I'm not manifesting that statement. So you would say, I don't have the money yet to buy that car, but I know it's coming. And I'm so grateful because it's going to feel so good driving that car. Does that make sense? I tried to find out if my soulmate Auden is going to reincarnate back to me, but I keep getting mixed up. I could see why that would be confusing, sweetheart. I don't know how, I have never experienced that before, so I only share what I know. If that makes any sense. But I always know that whether they reincarnate and come back to us in this life, they are always around us as a spirit watching over us from the other side. Have a good night. You too, Vicky. Thank you so much. I am going to get going so I could do my reading at 4 o'clock. If you would like a private reading, I do those. You can always go double click here and it will take you to. I will be here going live on kind of around this time tomorrow and on Monday. So if you want to jump in the queue and get a reading ahead of time, you can double click there and it will show you the mini readings that I offer on here. Okay, thank you guys so much. Good to see you. I love that, Hildra. Thank you. Much love to everybody. Take care, you guys.